I have to leave them. Reacher author's admission is a bad sign for Roscoe's return after Season 3. Reacher's original author has made some revelations about the return of certain characters, which almost confirms Roscoe will never be seen again in the series. Based on Lee Child's Killing Floor, Reacher Season 1 loyally adapted its source material and introduced characters like Roscoe and Finley from the original book. Unfortunately, similar to the novel, Reacher Season 1's ending showed how, despite feeling attached to Roscoe and starting a romantic relationship with her, Jack Reacher parted ways with the female character in the season's final arc. After Reacher Season 2 featured a Finley cameo, many viewers could not help but hope that Willa Fitzgerald's Roscoe would also return at some point. However, so far, even after 3 seasons, Roscoe has not been featured in the series after Season 1's finale. While only time will tell whether Reacher's future installments will feature her again, Lee Child has made some intriguing admissions about character reappearances that make Roscoe's reappearance even more unlikely. Lee Child's comments about leaving Reacher's female characters behind makes Roscoe's return unlikely. In an interview via Forbes, Lee Child opened up about how leaving female characters behind in the Jack Reacher books is always a bittersweet experience for him. He said that every time he writes a female character in the original books, he falls hopelessly in love with them and feels bitterly disappointed when the book finishes and he has to let them go. At the same time, however, he justified this creative decision by adding that it works for both the books and the series. The fact that he logically justifies his creative decision suggests that he and the show's creators have no reason to change this narrative trope. He said that he felt bad when he finished writing Persuader because it meant he had to leave Duffy behind. Despite this, though, he agreed that all Reacher seasons so far have had an outstanding love interest, and Duffy is one of them. Lee Child's comments on not keeping female characters around for the long haul highlight how he, too, understands why audiences find it hard to let go of characters like Roscoe long after their story arcs conclude. However, the fact that he logically justifies his creative decision suggests that he and the show's creators have no reason to change this narrative trope. Reacher Season 4 looks almost certain to avoid Roscoe's return. Jack Reacher is a man defined by his departures. Whether he's walking away from a small-town murder mystery or quietly disappearing into the horizon after saving the day, Reacher never stays in one place for too long, and that same principle seems to apply to the people in his life. Now, with Reacher Season 4 looming, a recent remark by Lee Child, the creator of the character, may have just confirmed what fans feared. Roscoe Conklin likely won't be coming back. And if that's true, it's a disappointment, but also, sadly, a consistency. In a reflective 2024 interview, Lee Child said of his early books and the characters Reacher left behind, "I love them. I really did. But I have to leave them. Reacher has to leave them. That's who he is." That one line, "I have to leave them," echoes far louder now as Reacher's Amazon Prime series barrels toward Season 4. While Child was referring to the likes of Jodie Garber and Frances Neagley in the original books, the sentiment appears to cast a long, gloomy shadow over Roscoe's potential return. After Season 3's events, in which Roscoe was notably absent, the writing might already be on the wall. Roscoe's impact was bigger than expected. Roscoe Conklin, played by Willa Fitzgerald, was a standout in Reacher Season 1. Smart, emotionally layered, and more than capable of standing her ground next to Reacher, she was never reduced to a mere love interest. Her bond with Reacher was one of mutual respect, underscored by shared trauma and a complicated understanding that something real was building between them, even if both knew it couldn't last. That's exactly what made her so compelling. In a show filled with brutality and bone-crunching justice, Roscoe added emotional weight. She didn't ask Reacher to change, she just asked him to stay. And when he didn't, it was the first time viewers saw Reacher struggle with the weight of his choices. The final shot of Season 1, where Reacher walks away from Margrave and Roscoe for good, wasn't just a callback to the novels, it was a gut punch. That's the Reacher paradox. He leaves, not because he doesn't care, but because he cares too much to stay. Lee Child's philosophy leaves no room for long-term attachments. Lee Child's comment reflects the DNA of the Reacher franchise. As much as fans might root for certain characters to stick around, be it Roscoe, Neagley, or someone new, Child's philosophy has always been about forward motion. Reacher doesn't have roots. He doesn't build a home. He doesn't collect friends and carry them from one adventure to the next. He simply moves on. This narrative strategy worked in the novels because each new book offered a fresh start, a new town, a new problem, a new ally or love interest. Readers came to expect this rotation. But on television, the emotional investment is different. When fans spend 8 episodes with a character like Roscoe, watching her grieve, fight, trust, and grow, they expect a payoff, or at least a continuation. The TV medium thrives on character relationships as much as plot, which is why Roscoe's absence in Season 3 was so loudly felt. Now, Child's I have to leave them mentality all but confirms that even fan-favorite characters aren't safe from the Reacher cycle of abandonment. Season 3 skipped Roscoe, but left a door open. Season 3 of Reacher, which adapted Persuader, didn't feature Roscoe at all. The storyline took Reacher to a coastal mission full of betrayal, double crosses, and more bodies than even he could count. It was fast-paced and entertaining, but something was missing. Roscoe wasn't even mentioned. No letters, no updates, not even a throwaway line. That silence was deafening. Still, there was hope. Some fans theorized that Season 4, potentially adapting the affair, could bring Roscoe back in a flashback, a surprise reunion, or even as a brief point of emotional clarity. But Child's quote throws cold water on that idea. If the author himself is saying Reacher can't, and shouldn't, hold on to past characters, then it's likely the show will follow suit. Especially since Child remains involved with the creative process of the Amazon series. Why it hurts more with Roscoe. Part of what made Roscoe special was that she wasn't just a book character, she was a better version of one. In the source material Killing Floor, Roscoe is far more understated. The show gave her more personality, more purpose, and more agency. She wasn't just someone Reacher saved. She helped him. She challenged him. And let's be honest, Willa Fitzgerald's performance made fans believe that maybe, just maybe, Reacher could have something lasting. That dream now appears to be over. Reacher's loner persona is what makes him compelling, but it's also what makes him tragic. And Roscoe was the emotional test of that tragedy. She saw the good in him, the scars, the limits. If Reacher could have stayed with anyone, it would have been her. And now that she's gone, fans may not easily connect to whatever new temporary bond Season 4 introduces. The bigger problem, the show may lose emotional stakes. If Lee Child's mantra continues to guide the series, Reacher could become a collection of brilliantly crafted, self-contained seasons, but emotionally hollow. The action is great. The mystery is tight. The humor lands. But without recurring characters like Roscoe, there's no emotional through line. Frances Neagley, played by Maria Sten, is the rare exception, a character who's made it into multiple seasons. But even she serves more as Reacher's platonic partner in operations, not an emotional anchor. Roscoe was different. She reminded Reacher, and us, what it meant to have something to lose. Losing that element makes Reacher a colder show, which might satisfy fans of a